We have an absolutely loaded show today. Should the Red Sox extend Alex Bregman? I certainly think they should, especially after this series against the Tigers. We talk about Tanner Houck going on the IL, what that means for the rotation going forward, and of course recap the Red Sox getting walked off for the second night in a row. I don't want to talk about it, but we got to talk about it. But before we get into that, if you want the Red Sox to extend Alex Bregman, I want you to go down right now and like the video. Let's show the Red Sox how many people want to extend Alex Bregman, because I certainly want to extend Alex Bregman. I want Alex Bregman to retire as a member of the Boston Red Sox. If you feel the same way, hit the like button. Let's get 50, 60 likes on today's video at least. I know there's going to be more people that watch than that, but let's get that number up. Let's talk about it because honestly, I'm going to be honest. I've had this story in my back pocket for about a week, but so much stuff has happened with the Rafael Devers situation and the Ceddanne Rafaela situation, and then the absolute brutal series against the Tigers that I kept pushing it back. But now I think since Bregman kind of tore up the Tigers in this series, even though they got swept, it should be a conversation that's had. Trevor Plouffe last week on Baseball Today, Jomboy Media podcast with Chris Rose. If you guys haven't listened to it, I highly recommend it. It's very, very good. They were talking about Alex Bregman and talking about his situation in Boston. And Trevor Plouffe said that if the Red Sox were smart, they should extend him right now. Here's what Trevor Plouffe had to say about Bregman, opting out of his contract at the end of this year. He said, I think that they're going to have to do that, or else he's going to test free agency again. I think if he continues on this path or even close to it and just stays healthy, I think he is going to opt out. He's going to opt out. I mean, it's clear as day that Bregman's going to opt out and these stats are before yesterday. These stats are before yesterday's game. So yesterday's game against the Tigers does not count in this. He did actually have a home run in that game as well. He's batting north of 3. He's got an OPS of 950. He's got 11 home runs now, more than 30 RBIs. Like, he is absolutely everything and more that you could have asked for. Alex Bregman is by far the best player on this team right now. He's one of the best players in all of baseball right now. And you can bet your bottom dollar that Alex Bregman, once this season is over, is going to opt out and go into free agency. And he's not going to take that Boston team-friendly deal that he took last time. He's going to get an absolute bag. So if I were John Henry, if I were Craig Breslow, if you want to win a little bit of good grace back with Red Sox fans, because right now, Red Sox Nation is not happy with the state of the Boston Red Sox for multiple reasons. If you want to get a little good grace back, I would extend Alex Bregman for the rest of his career. Here's more of what Trevor Plouffe had to say about Bregman in Boston in general. He said, he's a perfect fit in Boston. I'm sure he wants to be there. This is a guy with young kids. He wants stability. At this point in his career, he just wants to know where he's going to be so his family can set up shop, basically. Boston seems like a great place for him, but they have to go and offer him what he would get in free agency. I don't think he will take a discount just to stay there. I completely agree with Plouffe here. I think that it's not about the money, if that makes sense. Like, I do think he cares about stability. I think he wants to play in a place where he actually wants to be. And I think that is in Boston. He picked the Red Sox this offseason. Like, he's getting a higher AAV than some of those deals, but a lot of those deals were for longer and for more money. He chose the Red Sox. He wants to be in Boston, and from all accounts, he loves Boston, and his family loves Boston. So nut up or shut up. Give him the contract. Lock him down for the rest of his career because he is absolutely doing everything and more that you could have possibly asked him to do to start this season. He is a veteran leader on this team who is giving so much great guidance to this young team. He is, doing everything you could have asked for offensively. He's playing really solid defense. He struggled a little bit at the beginning of the season, but he's been playing incredible defense at third base as of late. Give this guy a bag. Give him a bag. Because in the next few years, you've got big contracts coming off the books. Trevor Story, Yoshida, just to name a few, are big contracts coming off the books in the next few years. You can afford to pay Bregman, because also the free agency classes in the next few years aren't that impressive. And there aren't players that I think Boston are really tantalized by. If Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was going to be a free agent this offseason, I think we'd be having a different conversation. But since he signed his extension, he's off the market. So who's the big fish for the Red Sox to go after this offseason? I don't really know if there is one. Kyle Tucker, your outfield's set. You don't need another outfielder. Like, Bregman's the guy. So just give him the contract. Don't risk him going into free agency. You've done that with Mookie. Well, you traded Mookie, but you did it with Bogarts. Don't risk that. Learn from your past mistakes. And a good sign is that John Henry, it seems to be showing that he genuinely cares about the team right now, and he's genuinely interested in the team. Him going out to Kansas City to talk to Rafi, that's a big commitment that he had to make. And that is showing that he is in tune with what's going on with the team, and he cares about the team. So, Henry, let's do it. Sign this man to an extension right now. He's earned it already, and we're only 40-plus games into the season. He's already earned it. So, come on, give him the bag. Just do it. Just do it. You let me know in the comments. I would expect to see a million whys for yes in this, but would you, or no, it's not would. I'm sorry. I misread my own Wayne. Will the Red Sox extend Alex Bregman? Will they? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I want you to predict it for me. Next season, going into next season, will Alex Bregman still be a member of the Boston Red Sox? I want to hear your thoughts down below in the comments. Y for yes, N for no. Let me know down below. All right, we're going to talk about the Red Sox losing in a second. But first, there was some injury news that happened yesterday that was fairly significant. Tanner Houck was placed on the 15-day IL with a right flexor pronator strain. Apparently, that has something to do with the elbow. But, guys, we know what this is. Look, if he's actually hurt, I hope he's okay. Best wishes to Tanner Houck. I hope he's good. But, come on. We know what this is. This is phantom IL. Houck has not looked good at all this season, spring training. Honestly, after the All-Star game. After Ohtani hit an absolute meatball and demolished it in Arlington, Texas, which I was there for, he's not looked good. He had an 11.20 ERA in spring training. He's currently sitting at an 8.04 ERA. He talked about it 2 nights ago. He said this is the worst he's ever felt. He feels horrible. Not physically, but mentally. And he feels lost. Okay, well, he needs to go find himself. He needs to figure out his routine. He needs to figure out his pitch mix. He's just got to get back to what was working last year. He needs to find his command again. He needs to figure it out. And putting him on the IL, getting him out of the rotation, getting him away from all the pressure and the limelight is the right decision. Something had to be done. A change had to be made. And Hunter Dobbins is pitching really well. You've got Walker Buehler coming off the IL next week. So the rotation's going to be okay. It's probably going to be better, honestly. So it's sad. It is. Because I love Tanner Houck. I'm a Tanner Houck guy. I freaking love Tanner Houck. But at the end of the day, it just wasn't working. Something needed to change. And this was one thing that I do think needed to change. And so, hopefully he's okay. Hopefully it's not an actual injury. I would assume it's the phantom IL. I don't really think that it's anything so serious. But yeah, go down to Fort Myers or wherever you need to go, get some work in and figure it out. Get your mind right, get right physically, and we'll see him up here again. I'm not, it's not like we're never going to see him again. He'll be back up here again in a few weeks. We'll see him, and hopefully he's good. He's got his mind right, and he's ready to pitch for the Sox and pitch very well. Before we get into the recap, hit that subscribe button. We're talking rumors. We're talking injury news. We're recapping every game. And you can expect this every single day. If you love the Boston Red Sox, hit that subscribe button. We're less than 40 subscribers away, I believe the math is, from 1,800 subscribers. We're knocking on the door. And we are so close to 2,000 subscribers. I actually had a meeting with my boss yesterday about watch parties. Those might be coming in the near future. If you want that to happen, though, we still need to show the bosses that this community is growing. So hit that subscribe button. Don't miss out. Join the family. We're a family here. Join the family. So the Red Sox lose again. 6-5. Look, it's a frustrating one. This one's more frustrating than last night. Last night, if you guys didn't watch yesterday's video, you should watch it. It's like a 16-minute rant about the Red Sox. It was kind of generational for me. I mean, it sucks because like they played well tonight. Hunter Dobbins, all things considered, he did have 5 earned runs, which wasn't great. But all things considered, he looked good for a majority of the night. It really was just a few mistakes that he had that kind of did him in. But, like I think Skubal had 5 earned, Skubal had 5 earned runs tonight. Like you hit Skubal well. And at the end of the day, you just got walked off. It's just bad luck. But let's talk about Hunter Dobbins. He went 9 hits, 5 earned runs, 4 Ks, gave up that 1 home run to Riley Green. His ERA is up to 3.9. Not a clean game for him, of course, but I actually don't think it's that bad of a start for him. I'm going to be completely honest. I felt okay about the start. You don't want to give up the 5 runs, of course. But I do still feel relatively confident. I felt like the command was there. I felt like he was hitting his spots at times. But at the end of the day, he did struggle a little bit. But I still feel good about Hunter Dobbins. I'm still a Hunter Dobbins guy. I think he looks really good this year. And the Tigers are just the hottest team in baseball. They have the best record in baseball right now. They're the hottest team in baseball. So it's tough, for a kid that's just new, that going up against a team of this caliber. But I think overall, there's some sloppiness. There's some stuff he's got to work on, but I don't think it was an absolute implosion of a game from Hunter Dobbins. Justin Wilson came in through a perfect inning. Liam Hendricks came in through a perfect inning as well with that insane catch from Sedon where Willier goes up to rob the home run. He kind of bats it and Sedon catches it. Insane. I've never seen a catch like that ever. It's going to be all over the highlight reels for the next few days. Insane catch. Justin Slayton comes in, perfect inning, looked great as well. It was Chapman. Chapman, this is the Aroldis Chapman I worry about in these high leverage situations. Gives up a hit, he walks a man, he does strike someone out, but at that point it was just cooked. He walked the first batter, he steals second, Connor Wong overthrows, he gets to third with no outs. I mean, the game's over then. I mean, we all knew. Everyone that watched that game knew. When that runner got to third with no outs, that game was over. It didn't matter. Javi Baez, popped up, Chapman struck a guy out, but even then it was like, this game's over. We're not going to extras. And the bullpen implodes yet again. It wasn't as blatant or as horrible as it was in the past. It was a tie ball game going into the ninth. You had runners on in the top of the ninth. You should have scored and you didn't. Just untimely hitting from the Sox. It's just bad luck, man. It just didn't fall their way. And that just really does kind of piss me off. Before we move on to the offense, though, let's go back to Hunter Dobbins for a second. Grade his outing. A, B, C, D, or F. I'm going to give it a C+. The 5 runs aren't great. It was kind of a sloppy performance, but I don't think it was this big implosion like a Tanner Houck level implosion. I think he did still show some positives, but he did not do anything. He was not a world beater. He did not do anything great here. So I'm going to give it a C+, but you let me know. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know down below in the comments. The lineup tonight, fine. 14 strikeouts, bad. But you got 11 hits, so that ratio is not horrible. You only walked twice. Sox have not been walking a lot lately, which is a concern because at the beginning of the season, they were walking a lot, which was a really good sign that they were kind of going away from their strikeout or home run type approach. But now in the last week or so, we've started to see that happening where they've been striking out a lot and they haven't been walking and they've only been going for home runs. And that's been very, very concerning, especially since, most of the Ks came from a few people. Jarren Duran struck out twice. Rafael Devers struck out twice, including a pivotal strikeout in the ninth with 2 runners on. Rob Refsnyder struck out twice. Christian Campbell struck out 3 times, man. He's been slumping bad. He had the home run the other night, but other than that, he has been slumping bad. Trevor Story struck out twice. He went 0 for 4. He continues to be a black hole in this lineup. Marcelo Myers in AAA, man. Eventually you're going to have to make the call. And Rafael had 2 strikeouts. I can't get mad at Rafael, though. He had another good night, 2 for 4. He scored a run. He had an RBI. Rafael is looking good lately. He's been looking really, really solid. Alex Bregman went 3 for 4 tonight, and he walked. He's everything you could possibly ask for. And, Devers struck out twice, but he went 2 for 5. He had a run. He had an RBI. Like, he contributed as well. Like, this entire lineup, except for Christian Campbell and Trevor Story, like, they all contributed, and Connor Wong, the black hole, they all contributed in some way, shape, or form. So, at the end of the day, untimely hitting at the end again. What this comes down to at the end of the day, what this comes down to is there's no ice. This team has no killer instinct. I believe the stat is now like, what is it? It's 4-12 in one-run game. I mean, we keep adding a loss every night because every night they lose a one-run game. I don't know. Like, it's just 4-12. 4-12 in one-run games. Yeah. We actually do real quick have some news. Cora says Bayo's going to start on Sunday. He'll be on regular rest. He's not overly concerned with Houck landing on the IL. Says it's some soreness. Hasn't been bouncing back like they hoped. So that's not, it's phantom IL. That's what I assumed. And yeah, at the end of the day, Celtics, I just said Celtics because I saw a Celtics tweet. Sox don't have the ice. They don't have the killer instinct, and that shows. And it's concerning because playoff teams have that killer instinct, and hopefully they turn that around. Hopefully they start winning some of these close games. But as far as we've seen so far, they haven't been able to, and that's concerning. I'm not going to press the panic button yet on that. They've got plenty of time left in the season to turn it around, but the sample size right now, 12, 13, 14, that's 16 games, one-run games, and you've lost 12 of them. That's not good for the sample size at all. So they got to turn it around. Something needs to change because again, I said this last night, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. It's time. It's time to call up the guys. It's time to call up the prospects. I think it's time to make a change. You put Houck on the IL. Okay, cool. You're making a change in the rotation. You're starting to do something. But the rotation was honestly the least of my worries. It's the bullpen. It's the lineup. Like, what are you going to do? Luis Guerrero's sitting in AAA right now, and your bullpen nightly is imploding. Like, a change has to come. It does. It has to happen. But you guys let me know. Would you call up the prospects? Would you call up Roman Anthony? Would you call up Marcelo Meyer? Would you call up a Luis Guerrero for reinforcements? Just comment yes or no down below in the comments. I assume everyone is going to comment yes. I'm commenting yes a million times. I mean, the Sox need it. They need something new. A change has to happen. Something new has to happen. Something has to give eventually, and I don't know what more they need to see. It's time to make a change. It's time to add a spark. It's time to call up the prospects. That's it, guys. That's where I'm going to end it tonight. We're going to be back tomorrow with another video. Will we? Well, yeah. Well, I don't know. They have an off day, so we'll see. This video is actually coming out on the off day. We'll see on Friday. It's been a very busy week with a lot of stuff going on, so we'll see if I have a video on Friday. I'm going to try to have a video on Friday, but we'll see what happens. But make sure you subscribe. If I don't have a video on Friday, we'll be back on Saturday with our regularly scheduled programming. We'll have shorts, everything. Don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button, and until next time, go Sox.